and welcome back to
Hello, Kevin. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. Welcome back to I Helped Make That.
Thank you so much.
Now, before we begin, let us just get the anchor ad out of the way. So,
Mhm.
if you've ever wanted to create your own podcast, what you can use is Anchor.
Okay.
Because Anchor is the easiest podcasting platform to use. All you do is sign up for an account. Then you can post on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those platforms. So, if you want to create a podcast, try Anchor today. So, welcome Andreas onto the show.
Thank you, Kevin. It's
You're
great to
welcome.
see you. It's been a while.
You're welcome. Yes, it has. So, the reason we are bringing Andreas is, have you ever watched a documentary, like say on the History Channel or Investigation Discovery? You know how sometimes to reenactments of events that they are talking about in the show? Well, I've done those, and so has Andreas. In fact, we did one together, A Crime to Remember.
We met there, right?
Yeah, I believe we did. However, that's not what we are going to be talking about today. Instead, we'll be talking about another show that I was on, but he was on as well, just in different episodes. The Food That Built America, which he was on twice.
Right.
And we are going to be talking about both of those times. Anyway, thanks again, Andreas, for coming on.
Thanks, Kevin, for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, I want to begin by asking now, the way these reenactment shows are usually cast is that they post casting notices on casting networks, on Actors Access, on breakdown services, on pretty much all of those casting services online. So sometimes you're required to audition, because I
Right.
have, been asked to audition for a few of these. I think once, yeah, at least once I was asked to audition for Evil Lives Here. And then sometimes they just cast you based on the picture.
Right.
Now, the first time you did The Food That Built America, you were just playing I believe it was, what was it, Andrea?
A Hershey worker, Hershey factory worker.
Yeah. So, did you have to audition for that, or were you just cast based off? Okay, so you were cast based off your picture?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think picture and probably my real, because it was more like a smaller part.
Okay. So, then once you were cast, what was it like to get the notice that you were cast? And then what was it like traveling to set?
Well, it was a while ago, but I think I remember. Um I got cast by Barbara McNamara's casting office, I believe, and it was through email. It's usually through email. Um, and then it was filmed in Staten Island, so I'm in Manhattan, so it wasn't that hard to get there. I had to take the train and then the subway. I mean, sorry, and then the ferry, and then a, a bus, a small bus ride after that.
All right, but did you have to wake up early in the morning to get there?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like how early? Do you remember?
Probably 6 or 7. I think probably 5 or 6. I think we had to be there at 7, maybe, or 8, the latest.
Yeah, I bet. So once you were cast, where did you film?
We filmed in some old. There's a park. I forget the name of the park. It's beautiful. It's not far from the ferry. You take a bus towards the east, the west side of Staten Island, and it's right at, at the very tip of the corner before it starts turning to go south. And there is a big park there, and there's a few buildings there that are old. They look like old factories or maybe old homes. I'm not sure. And we filmed in a few of those. So they had turned it into Hershey's chocolate lab factories. But they did a great job, actually. It looked great.
Okay. Now, what was it like playing the Hershey's lab worker? Like, what was it like on set?
Mm, it was pretty chill. They just made me do, like, throw some chocolate in and stir it, and pretend I'm making that. Uh, that was for one scene. Another scene, we were like examining like the chocolate if it came out the way our boss wanted it, um, and then another scene, we were actually protesting, where the employees were protesting for some reason. I don't remember why. Shame on me.
Okay. Uh, so what was it like, you know, having like, so like, what was it like now, my experience, on set has been usually that there's a lot of downtime.
Hmm.
So what do you do on your downtime for these reenactment shows usually?
I socialize. I talk to other actors usually, get to know them, and like, you know, waste some time, like, getting to know each other and talking about work, or it's usually things that matter about acting, or yeah, any information I could have gotten that would be useful or helpful to me. That's what I usually do, or just to have fun with other actors, because they're usually nice people. We're usually nice people.
Yeah. So how long was the shoot?
It was long. It could have been between 10 to 12 hours, I would say.
Yeah. So like, do you remember like exactly how late it went to? Like,
It was definitely dark when we left. So I would say could have been, yeah, anytime between 7 or 8 p.m.
okay. And then flash forward to a couple years later, right?
Hmm.
And now you're back onto the food that built America, but this
Season
time,
2.
mhm, this time you're playing Rene Arend. So this time you're playing a major historical figure rather
Right.
than just some, you know, worker.
Yes.
So did you have to audition for that part?
Um, I For that one, yes, I did have to audition. Yes.
Okay,
We were
and
looking for a specific, role. Like I had to have a specific accent. Rene Arend was Belgian, from Belgium originally, and he had like a thickish French accent.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So, what was the audition like?
Oh well, that was during the pandemic actually. So that's when we had started doing mostly everything on through self tapes. So I did it here at home. Um, yeah, I did the best I could because I was still, everything was all new at the time. Still learning how to self tape and do everything, and yeah,
All right.
pretty good times
Yeah.
in the
I
world.
mean, they still ask for mostly self tapes even nowadays. But how long did it take for you to find out that you got the part?
Actually, I think it was pretty fast, maybe 5 days, I believe.
Ooh, that's nice.
Hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So once you got the part, like where was it filmed?
It was filmed in Connecticut and around Berlin, Connecticut, I believe. If
Okay.
anyone knows the area, the location.
And did you have to get there on your own or did they give you transportation?
I had to go to get on my own. I think they were offering, but I chose to self-report, and they paid for mileage.
So how'd you get there?
Um, my husband actually was an actor too. He drove me there because I don't drive. Hmm?
Yeah, I don't drive either.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's filmed in Connecticut and you got driven by your husband. So what was the set like there compared to how it was in the first season?
Okay, so we were in an actual what kind of facility it was? I can't remember, but they had taken over again. I guess it was something that must have closed during, because of the pandemic, and they used it. They were renting it out. I'm guessing, and it was a big, big building, more industrial, I would say, and they had different sets on different rooms. It wasn't a studio. It was definitely like an industrial building, and yeah, we had different sets in different rooms that we would go film different scenes, and they had recreated the 70s, I guess. It was, yeah, the 70s pretty well.
Okay, it's cool that, like it had you were on that cool set, but like what was it like filming during the pandemic versus pre-pandemic?
During that time, it was a lot, so many rules, very strict rules, and we had to wear masks all the time. We had to do keep our distance, and we had to do this and that. Like everybody knows the deal. I'm guessing, um, and everything was smooth. Nobody complained about anything. Everybody was uh, doing what they had to do. We did our job. We're happy.
All right. I'm glad they were happy, especially seeing as as I seem to remember, the food on the set got worse during the pandemic.
The what? The food?
Yes.
The food industry?
No, no, just the food on set.
Oh, the food on set. Yes, you're right about that.
Yeah,
I know.
because it was no longer warm and hot. It was like
You're right.
cold and had been, like sitting for hours. I think,
It had to be mostly compacted, like into this separate, boxes and be given. You had to choose a box and go.
yeah, yeah, I won't say what set it was, but I think once I was even like, screw this, and during lunchtime sneaked off to a restaurant that was nearby.
Yeah,
No one noticed. Thank
no,
God.
been there, done that too.
Yeah. So, but back to not the food that was on the set, but the food that built America. Like, how exciting was it, to even though you had all these restrictions, um, you know, on how to behave on set, how was it like, getting the chance to play a major character in this show?
It's pretty exciting. Yeah, I was very happy when I got the part, and I was really ready to give myself into the part and to be Rene Arend the way you know I had reimagined him. And yeah, they didn't give me any specific ideas of how to play him, so I just created him myself, and I was very happy. Yeah, I was really excited to be there. I saw an old friend who had directed me in a film before, and he was part of the crew there, and we're like reminiscing. um, and everybody was super nice, very very nice. Everybody. Um, Again, me playing Rene Arend or a major character really uh, boosted my ego. As an actor, it's like, hey, I'm here now playing somebody more major than what the last time I was more like a smaller role. And here I am doing it the other way around.
Yeah, like, I'm just curious, do you think they might have hired you back because you were already on the show? Like,
The No, I don't think so. Usually they try not to hire somebody who has already been in the show, but because the other role it was more like I would say more background, so I don't think it mattered, or they never noticed. I have no idea what to tell you about that. Truly, that it was never mentioned by email or by anybody, any spoken word about it. Like, yeah.
okay, but um I would like to mention that they had used your appearance in a spin-off of The Food That Built America, The Food That America Snack Sized.
Right, right.
Now, when did you find out they were going to do this with the footage?
I actually just I was watching probably the History Channel or one of the shows, or maybe this Food Bill Americas is actually a very interesting show. Like all the episodes had not something to do about some big food chain. So I think I was watching one of those Food Bill America episodes, and all of a sudden I see an advertisement about the snack side one. I'm like, oh great. They used our footage also to create a mini series, a smaller episode, like mini episode, like series.
Yeah. So, with all that being said, uh, oh, the Food That Built America, is just one of many reenactment shows you've done. You know, Same thing with me. I don't think I could even list all of them. I know I've done The Food That Built America, A Crime to Remember, the 80s Deadliest Decade, The Real Story with Maria Elena Salinas, where I actually had a lead role too. But
Hmm.
because it was one of those you know, shows where they don't have the actors saying anything, they're just like pantomiming. I
Yes.
I didn't have to audition for that. Although there's a fun fact about one of them I was on. So there was one where you just see the actor's feet. I forget exactly which one it was, but I didn't have to audition for it, but they still used my voice. I was
Hmm.
playing a cop.
How fun.
However, so I thought that was kind of like I was surprised when that happened.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but the point I'm trying to make is that, and I don't know if you agree or disagree with this, these reenactment shows are such great venues for, like non-union actors to get their faces out there.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah, because they're on national television.
Hmm.
Like I was in Costa Rica, I was watching TV. I flipped over and one of these reenactment shows were playing like in Costa Rica, not even in America.
Right.
So they're not just on national television, they're on television worldwide.
Hmm.
Now, I wouldn't say it's like maybe something you should do for the rest of your life, but wouldn't you agree that it's sort of a great way to get your face out there?
Hmm. No, for me,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, for sure. I agree, 100%. It's a great platform for actors who just start their careers and to have exposure and even get something more legit for the reels and for our reels, and to show that, or for our resumes. It's a big help for anything that you need in order to step up as an actor.
Yeah. Like I will say that, you know, I haven't been recognized for any of these shows. I don't know if you have, but I have had friends who have been, recognized.
Hmm.
At least one friend I know said he was recognized for these for like a reenactment show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will just say that, even though we're saying it's a great stepping stone,
Hmm.
like it's also not something that should be a be all end all. Like I got on a reenactment show, I got on national TV, I'm set for life.
No, not at all. All right.
Yeah, no, you still have to work at your craft and still have to work at, you know, getting discover getting discovered and just getting your career to a point where you are at least living comfortably financially.
Right. Right.
Yeah, like I'm sure you'd agree that, not everyone's going to be like a star,
Hmm.
but like it's like not just because you get this big TV role doesn't mean you're just, set for life.
Hmm. Right.
Like I've ranted about this before on my podcast, but I am kind of sick of Star is Born stories. You know what I'm talking about? Like movies sort of, that are about like actors that sort of undermine like how, like how much work it takes to get into the entertainment industry and makes it seem like it's an overnight thing.
No, right.
Yeah, like, once you're an actor, it's at least to me, it's just kind of hard to get swept up in that sort of fantasy. I don't know. What do you think?
No, totally. That's a total fantasy. We have to really work hard for to get somewhere, and we have to have a lot of luck too. I mean, it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of effort and a lot of, I don't know what, like, patience and courage, and yeah, it's almost like masochistic because we love what we do so much that we'll do anything, whatever it takes, even if we have to suffer, and we do suffer a lot in order to make it, or trying to make it, or to get somewhere in our careers.
Yeah, like as Gary said in my SNL episode, like, being an actor is about, not just making it, but working to, to make sure you're still sort of successful in the acting industry. Like I've literally like watched or listened to interviews with people who are like famous 30 years ago. Aw,
Mm-hmm.
who's that guy or girl?
The little girl.
Hey,
Dee. Hey.
what's her name?
Dee Dee.
Hi, Dee Dee.
Did you say hi? Hi. She's
Aw.
not very camera shy. She's done some stuff herself.
Yeah, but as I was saying, like, I've literally listened or watched interviews with people who were like big names like 30 years ago or whatever, saying that, they struggle to find roles because, yeah, fame is fleeting, but, just success in the entertainment industry
Yeah,
is fleeting. So it's like, even though we're saying that these reenactment shows are great venues to get nationwide exposure, and they are, all we're also saying is don't just rely on them.
right, right. And that
Yeah.
was actually my last reenactment show, a non-union show, because right before that I had done the Christmas lottery, and then I think we filmed end of October of 2020, the Food That Built America, and by December I got my union stats, my SAG. So that was pretty much the last reenactment show I did.
Okay. Well, I think this is a perfect place to end it. Thank you, Andreas, for coming on.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. But before
So,
you go,
mhm.
is there anything you want to plug?
Like anything's going on or anything like that, you mean?
Yeah.
Not really. I had talking about, I was thinking how sometimes we have to wait a long time to hear about, getting auditions, hearing back from auditions. Um, yeah, today I got an X on an audition I had done for um, what is it called? It's like the Sex in the City Part Two. I mean,
Oh, and just like
and
that.
just like that, right, right. But I guess it wasn't disappointing because I already thought that they had picked already the character because it's been so long since I sent the audition. But today I got the email and it was like, we wanted to let you know that we chose someone else for the part, blah blah blah. Oh, okay, good to know. I guess I knew it already. But
All right.
so yeah, we got to go through a lot of disappointments too before to get one good part. So keep it up, everybody.
Yeah, but what about Dee Dee? Does she have anything she'd like to plug?
She just did some photo shoot recently for some
Aw.
doggy product. Yeah,
Aw.
yeah. She's very easygoing, so she's good. She's a good girl.
Yeah, how old is she?
She's actually 10 and a half.
Years old?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's an old lady.
Yeah, she's a
Aw.
yeah.
Yeah, well, she's
She acts
cute.
like a puppy though. Everybody thinks she's like a puppy. They're like, what? Like, yeah, forever puppy.
Aw. Well,
Mm.
because she's so tiny, too.
Yeah, right. And so energetic.
Yeah, is she a Chihuahua?
She must be because everybody asks that. For Her main breed is miniature pincher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she must be mixed with a Chihuahua.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, if you have nothing else to say, I think this is a perfect place to end it. Thank you
Great.
again. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Kevin.
you're welcome.
Good to see you. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, that was I Help Make That, and I'll see you all later.
See you guys later.